So it's been over a week since Call of Duty World War II was added back onto PC Gamepass, with its initial release being filled with RCE exploits and people getting hacked. They removed the game for about close to 2 months and then decided to release it again last week. And we've talked in my last video about if the game was safe or not, and today I'm here to give you some more information because it's been a week, people have been playing, people have been looking at it, and from all the research that I was able to do, I think I can give a pretty definitive answer as to if the game is safe or not, or at least as of right now. So first, let's hear from Activision itself. We have a post from the COD WWII subreddit saying, confirmed to be safe. So the person who posted this basically contacted Activision support directly to ask if the game was safe to play now on PC Gamepass. Here's the response that they got. It says, thank you for reaching out. My name is blah blah blah, Activision. Okay. We understand your concerns regarding the recent security measures taken for the World War II game following reported threats and exploits. We're happy to confirm that the game has been successfully restored to the store with enhanced security measures implemented on our end, making it safe to play. Please feel free to download the game and enjoy it without any worries. So Activision support does say that the game has been fixed and it's completely safe to play, but honestly, I wouldn't trust the word of Activision if I were you, but that's just me. I mean, they did release World War II on Game Pass initially and probably thought it was safe, so why would they still think it's safe now? Even though they fixed some exploits doesn't mean that others don't exist that they might have missed. I'm just saying, every time they fix one of the games, quote unquote, such as Modern Warfare 2, which had an update in 2023, and Black Ops 3 as well, received a similar update where they patched 4 different RCE exploits, but guess what? These games still have RCE exploits to this day. New ways to exploit remote code execution is being discovered all the time on these games. So every time they fix a game, it comes back. So for them to say, yeah, it's completely safe now, you're good, you can play, I don't know. I'm just saying, every time there's a fix, it breaks again soon after. But it's been a week, and from what I've seen, nothing really happened. The last time it'd take 48 hours for an exploit to be discovered and utilized, but now it's been about 10 days, and we haven't seen or heard anyone getting attacked by RCE. It is also worthy to note that the player base is definitely not as big as when it first released on Game Pass. I think most people don't even know that it's back. And also the fact that most people probably saw the articles this summer or heard someone say that the game wasn't safe, so even if they see it on their PC Game Pass, they're not gonna play it because they know it's probably not safe. Even myself, I haven't been playing this. I don't trust it. I'm not gonna risk my computer just to prove a point. I'm not gonna launch COD World War II on PC Game Pass even after today. It's just not something I'm gonna do because it's never gonna be 100% safe. So there's maybe a fraction of the player base that there was on the initial launch, which, you know, with all these eyes and all these players on the game, that's why people were looking for an exploit to start with. I mean, World War II on Microsoft Store released back in December 2024, and nobody knew there were exploits on this version of the game until it hit Game Pass. So in my opinion, right now, there might still be exploits, even if Activision says it's fixed. There's just simply not enough eyes or attention given to the game now that it's back for it to be discovered yet, but that doesn't mean it won't be in the future. We do also have a tweet from VX-Underground, which from my understanding is pretty knowledgeable about remote code execution in COD. I don't really know the person, but what I do know is that when World War II first started having the RCE, they were talking about it a lot on Twitter, and what they were saying seemed to be pretty truthful and believable. And what they've said about the re-release is that the RCE is partially fixed. It's still possible, but requires some special conditions. Now, of course, they're not going to elaborate on that simply for the fact that even if they know that there's an exploit, they don't necessarily want people to use it. They have made a tweet saying that they have discovered an RCE that is possible, and they have actually tagged Activision asking them to respond and say something or or get in contact with them so that they could get it fixed. And then later, we did get a response to that tweet saying that Activision had reaching out to them, which is great news. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen Activision react or respond or acknowledge RCE issues by anyone on Twitter before. We've had Momo, the person who made the boy client on BO3, who made a whole proof of concept on the GitHub for Activision, and as far as I know, they never even tried to contact them or even tried to do anything with it. So I'm not really sure why they're acting now. It's probably something to do with Microsoft now owning Activision and them wanting to add all the games to Game Pass, but either way, this is great news. If Activision is actually serious now about keeping the game safe and making sure that every Game Pass release is safe to play, then it's great to see them take action. And when somebody tweets at them being like, yo, I found an RCE exploit, can you like message me? And they do, I mean, that's already more than they've done in the past 10 years about this issue. It gives me hope for sure, and I really hope that all of this is truthful, and I hope that what comes out of it is great and that we can all play every Call of Duty without issues on PC one day. That would be awesome. Other news is, even though there hasn't been RCE exploits specifically, there have been exploits utilized on the COD WWII Game Pass version on PC. So there is obviously still the exploits to kick you out of lobbies and crash your game, which is what I've been seeing on the Twitter timeline quite a lot. We do have Rage, which is another YouTuber who talks about COD not being safe quite a lot on his channel. I'd check it out if you were interested in that. But he has been playing COD WWII on PC ever since it re-released, and he has been getting messages, custom messages even, with his name in it, saying that he's 5'4" and kicking him out of the game for it. Now, it's pretty funny. It's not like the people are trying to write profanities and get him banned or anything. Like, they're just kind of screwed with him and just letting him know, you know, hey, I can do this, please talk about it, which I think is a good way for people who know how to do exploits to, you know, get the message across to YouTubers who can actually talk about it and have their audience be aware of it, you know. But this is not an RCE exploit. This is simply a kick exploit, which every single Call of Duty on PC and even on consoles have. You've probably been kicked from a lobby before, probably with a weird message saying like, oh, the servers are unavailable at this time, or you don't own this DLC or stuff like that. It happens all the time. On Black Ops 2, you can even get banned from the servers on console. So it's not uncommon to see these things. It's definitely annoying, and it's definitely something that I still recommend people to use the T7 patch on BO3 to avoid it happening to them on there, or, you know, use the other clients just not to get kicked or have your rank reset all the time, because it's annoying. But as far as not being safe, this is not the same thing as RCE. Remote code execution is when someone can take complete control over your computer and do whatever they want with it. They can send code to you and your computer runs it and you have no knowledge of it happening at all. With these kinds of exploits, the custom messages, the kicks, the disconnections, and rank resets and all that, it's simply things that happen in the game. It doesn't get out of the game. So for people to be able to do custom messages, yeah, it's annoying, but it's something that every COD has, and it's definitely not the focus of them fixing the game. They definitely want to just get rid of the stuff that's actually dangerous and that could potentially get them in legal trouble for keeping in their game. So custom messages is very low on the priority list, and that's fair. It's still annoying, but it's fair, you know. It is what it is. But yeah, just if you've played World War II on PC, you were scared that you had been RC attacked because you received a custom message, don't panic, it's fine, you're okay. It's just a custom message exploit and you're fine. Also, people thought it was actually Rage doing these custom messages, so it's pretty funny. Here's a small clip here of people in his chat thinking he's a hacker.
When it happened on my stream yesterday, I understandably had some very angry first-time chatters that were like, fuck you, why are you doing this? Hacker? Yeah, nope, it's not me, because I was just playing and got the exact same kick message.
I just thought that was really funny. I wanted to share it, but yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening with COD WWII. You know, there's plenty of different custom messages people have been receiving. There's one talking about cleanups and how they will definitely not get cease and desisted by Activision and stuff like that, which is weird because it seems like people want like players to go and target these, you know, creators. So people might get mad at cleanups, or they might get mad at rage thinking it's them when in reality it isn't. So it is dangerous to be able to project an official message like that to any player, because yes, you don't have to be in the same lobby as someone to do this, as far as I know, because from Rage's video talking about his experience of, you know, people reacting to the message with his name in it, people have been receiving these messages left and right. He even received it himself, getting kicked from a lobby. So it's not like there's one guy going through every single lobby. It happened pretty much to everyone at the same time, and everybody were in different lobbies. So from my understanding, people can do this remotely as long as they know your Steam ID or have your IP address. I would imagine they're able to just kick you out of the server with their mod menu like they've been doing for years on all other CODs, you know, like BO3. So nothing really surprising there. There is also another Reddit post that I saw where Economy Health says, okay, in the past few days, World War II has been hacked on PC Gamepass. 1 out of 3 game crashes. And on my last game, the game cut off and I got an error message displaying on the screen. King something, the name was way too long to remember, have hacked your PC and Microsoft can't do fuck all about it. And he's like, what the hell? So again, people are receiving these custom messages and getting scared and thinking their PC has been hacked, which is fair because, you know, Call of Duty is pretty well known at this point for having remote code execution exploits, and when you see something like that, I think it's fair for people to assume that their PC is compromised from this message. But honestly, it's not, you know, at least for now, because the RCE exploit has been fixed as far as we know. Again, that doesn't mean the game is 100% safe. I'm not saying it's going to be safe forever. What I'm saying is it's safe right now. In a week, this might change. In a month, maybe in a year. But right now, it is safe, because if there was an RCE exploit that was known publicly, people would already be using it. But tomorrow or the day after, maybe someone will find a way to, you know, do a remote code execution exploit again. And apparently VX Underground did, and they contacted Activision to get it fixed. But what if we get someone who's a little bit less nice and tries to use it for malicious intent without telling anyone how to do it? That's when we get a problem. And it's already known publicly that there is an RCE exploit possible by VX Underground. He didn't say how, he didn't give any context, it's just specific conditions, which is fair, but still, people know it exists, and so people will look for it. And so it might be found before Activision fixes it. Look, the whole point of this video is just to tell you that, yeah, right now you can play it, it's safe, but it's not gonna be safe forever. Activision needs to keep fixing the game and releasing patches very often to keep the game safe, because every time they're gonna fix an exploit, a new one's gonna be found. And if they don't fix that one, then the game's not safe again. And then it's safe again, and then it's not, and then it's safe, and then it's not, and then it's safe, and then it's not. It's a cat and mouse game, and I'm not sure if Activision's gonna be willing to do that for every single Call of Duty game releasing to Game Pass. Like right now, it's not so bad. They have World War II, and that's the only game to have to worry about. But what happens the day where they add Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and then the Modern Warfare Trilogy, and then Ghost, and then Advanced Warfare? What happens when this day arrives where we have like 14 different Call of Duty titles on PC Game Pass, and what happens when one of them's not safe? What if 2 are not safe at the same time? Are they going to be able to fix both in time before people get hacked? Like, it's always going to be like such an investment of time and money for Activision to keep these games safe on PC Game Pass. And well, right now it seems like they're heading in the direction of we're going to keep it safe, and we're contacting people who have found RCE exploits, and we are taking the game off the store when needed to in order to fix it. So right now they're doing the best reaction they could have to this whole fiasco. But again, once we're gonna have like 5 Call of Duties on Game Pass, I'm not sure how they're gonna be able to handle it. They definitely need to put dedicated employees on this project here and just have like, okay, you guys are going to be working on fixing COD. That's all you're going to be doing. You're going to monitor people, going to make sure that nobody gets hacked. You're going to fix it as soon as it arrives. You're going to close the servers when you find out there's an RCE exploit, and that's your job now. You're going to be doing that for the next 2 years while we add every single game to Game Pass, and we're going to squish every single exploit until one day there's none of them left. But my gut feeling tells me this is not what Activision is going to do, because they never cared to do it before. With the player base being so low and everybody thinking the game is not safe anyway, what's the point? And so I'm not really sure what to think about all this, but what I do know is the game is safe right now, and so if you want to play it, go right ahead, but be careful and make sure that you keep up to date, you follow people who seem to know what they're talking about this issue, so that you're informed as soon as possible if an exploit gets found and utilized. Because the second somebody finds it, then the game is not safe again. And who knows how long it's gonna take for Activision to fix it. But yeah, the game is still using peer-to-peer servers, which I just don't understand why they wouldn't re-release it with dedicated servers. It makes no sense to me. The Steam version is using dedicated servers. Why can't the Microsoft Store version use them? It would fix a lot of the issues. Not entirely, of course, but it would fix a bunch. Just getting kicked from the servers would probably be fixed with having dedicated servers as opposed to peer-to-peer servers, so right there is already a pretty big win in my opinion. But yeah, talking about Steam, it doesn't really seem like the RCE issues have been necessarily found or utilized on Steam. I haven't seen any post or anyone talking about the Steam version not being safe right now. Even then, let's just keep in mind that the Steam version of World War II have not received an update, and the Microsoft Store version has. I'm not really sure if it is vulnerable to RCE or not. There doesn't seem to be a definitive answer. What I will say is that probably both of the games are kind of in a similar situation, where there's probably not an RCE exploit that's known or discovered right now, and it's probably safe to play right now, but this might change in the future. Which is also true of any other Call of Duty that doesn't have RCE exploits right now, such as Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 4. All these games, even though we've never seen anyone be RCE'd on these games, doesn't mean that there isn't a chance that one day someone will find an exploit and use it on these games. The only reason we know World War II had an RCE exploit is because it was added to Game Pass. Because the player base was big enough for people to actually find it worth it to go ahead and RCE people on the game. So yeah, let's just hope that next time Activision releases a Call of Duty title on PC Game Pass, they do their due diligence and actually fix the game before releasing it, not after. The games are already all available on Microsoft Store. They have been since December 2024. If World War II had an RCE issue on this version, then I can bet you that every other Call of Duty title on the Microsoft Store also has this issue. But there's like 2 players online, because nobody's buying the game full price again on the Microsoft Store. So until it hits Game Pass, we're not gonna know if it's safe or not. But let's hope that Activision learns from their mistake with World War II and actually give an updates to every single Call of Duty on the Microsoft Store before releasing it onto Game Pass. And honestly, I keep saying it, but if World War II is vulnerable, they should assume that every single one is and remove all of them from the store and fix them one by one. It's a mistake to keep these games on the Microsoft Store knowing that they're fully exploitable, even if people don't know how to exploit it yet. Even if there is only 5 players online, because it's still a risk and someone could get hacked in a very malicious way using this exploit. And to me, it screams negligence to keep these games on there. But anyways, that's enough yapping for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. I'll keep an eye on the situation, of course. If there is someone getting hacked by RCE, I'll let you know as soon as it happens. I'm monitoring the situation, even though Activision says it's safe. I'm still gonna keep an eye on it and keep you guys updated if anything else happens, but for now, it's pretty safe to assume that the game is safe to play for the time being. So if you want to go ahead and relive your COD WWII glory days, then go ahead and enjoy the game while it lasts. But do take precautions and do be aware of the risks that at any time someone could discover a new exploit to use against you. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in the next video.